Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Premier League predictions video. This is match day 28 of the Premier League season. We've got 10 more match days to go, and this week is arguably the biggest and best week yet. Big games, exciting games coming up, and title deciding games, top 4 deciding games as well, European spots deciding games. So it's gonna be incredible to see what might happen, what might be the results for this week, and but it's gonna be very, very, very interesting indeed. But as always, we're gonna start off with last week's predictions. If you guys don't know how the point system works, I get half a point for every team I predict correctly, and I get 1 point for the exact scoreline of the game. Starting off with Newcastle United against Wolves, I said 2-2. It finished 3-0 Newcastle United. Spurs against Crystal Palace, I said 2-1 Spurs, it was 3-1. Nottingham Forest against Liverpool, I said 2-0, it was 1-0. Brentford against Chelsea, I actually said 2-1 Brentford, it finished 2-2. Everton against West Ham, I'm very proud of myself with this one here. I said 3-2 West Ham, and it was not 3-2, it was 3-1, very close. Fulham Brighton though, I thought it was going to be a draw. Brighton lost by, what was the score? Wasn't it a humiliating 3-0? Wasn't it? It was, and of course they went away to Rome and lost 4-0 there as well. Luton Town against Aston Villa, I said 3-1 Aston Villa. It was, if I'm not wrong, 3-2 at the end of the game. Let me just, yep. And last few games, Burnley against Bournemouth, I say 2-2. It was 2-0 Bournemouth. Man City against Manchester United, the Manchester Derby, I said 4-2 Man City, it was 3-1. And Sheffield United against Arsenal, I said 3-0 Arsenal, it was 6-0. So 3 points, not too shabby. This week, let's hope that we can do slightly better, or at least keep up the pace with the points. Starting off, Manchester United host Everton at Old Trafford. It's going to be incredible to see, what happens in this game. I just think that at home, United have to win. Everton are going to come with the fight, but they lost their last game at home to West Ham. They might come in looking to get at least a point. But I'm going to say Manchester United win 2-1. It's not going to be an easy win by any means, but United to somehow find a way. Crystal Palace against Luton Town. I think that because they're at home, Palace are going to get something. Definitely. I can't see them losing at home, but Luton Town, man, they have been fighting this season. They've been playing well. I'm going to say 1-1 here. I just think that it's one of those games that it has a draw written all over it. Bournemouth against Sheffield United, I think it's going to be a 2-0 win to Bournemouth. Sheffield United are the first team, I think, in Premier League history to have lost by 5 goals or more in 3 consecutive games. So they could lose 5-0 for the 4th time in a row. I don't see that happening. Wolves against Fulham, 2 teams that are playing pretty well, on decent form, but the fact that it's at home for Wolves and Fulham do play well as well away from home. But I'm going to actually say a 2-1 win for Fulham away from home. I know, my punchy shout of the week. Arsenal against Brentford, 4-0. It's going to be another one of those games for Arsenal, but you get to a point where, when do Arsenal stop, this streak of scoring? Because it comes a time where they are not going to score 4 or 5 goals every game from now until the end of the season. There's going to be a time that they stop. So when is the time that they stop? I don't think it's at home against Brentford they stop. I think that they'll continue. Now, match of the week, number 1, Aston Villa at home against Spurs. Now, I remember watching this reverse fixture at the Spurs Stadium, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where they lost by 2-1, I believe. And look, Villa Park, we like to think that it's a stadium that will be a fortress, that will be helping the team get the win, but in recent weeks it just hasn't delivered in a way that, okay, the fans are still cheering the team on, the belief is still there, but it seems that the players and the team have started stopping, delivering at home. And Spurs are going to come in with the kind of challenge that, look, they're, I don't know, like 5 points behind with a game in hand. A win in this game is going to be huge, because if they win this game, they're 2 points behind with a game in hand, and if they win that game in hand against Chelsea, they're back in the top 4. So anything can happen, but it's Spurs, and I don't know how to say it, but they do bottle things, so who knows. But I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. Villa coming off of a back of an away trip to Ajax, so it's not going to be, fun for them, with obviously the travelling and the mentally fatigue. So I do see Spurs getting a draw from this game. West Ham against Burnley. West Ham away from home against Everton won, but in Europe they went away against Freiburg and they lost. I think they'll go back to winning ways. 2-0 for West Ham. Brighton against Nottingham Forest. I mean, who knows what Brighton will deliver these days, but because they're at home, I'm going to edge it to them. 1-0 win. Very narrow, tight win. And in the last 2 games of this weekend, 2 more match of the weeks. But the main one, for the title race, Arsenal will be looking at this game going, what a time to be alive, at least for this week, right? Liverpool at home against Man City. At least one of these 2 teams, if not both, will drop points. Guaranteed. Now, I see this as a big advantage to Liverpool because they're at home. And the last time they played Man City away in the reverse fixture, they picked up a draw. Obviously, Trent got that goal, and over they played pretty well away from home at the Etihad. But it is the real deal now. Can Liverpool deliver? Can they prove that they are going to take the title away from City? They're going to stop them from winning 4 in a row. Can they do it? Can Liverpool do it? I think this is bigger and much more pressure on Liverpool than it is on Man City, because of the occasion, because it's at Anfield, and if they lose this game at Anfield, people will be saying, are they serious title contenders, or have they always been serious title contenders? If they win this game, I think that, great, they will win the league. I don't think a draw is helpful for either teams, because they will remain at where they are. Arsenal will go above them, and it doesn't help. Obviously, Liverpool have already played Arsenal. Man City have to play Arsenal, if I'm not wrong, at home at the Etihad. So, a draw wouldn't help Liverpool. Man City, if they draw this game, they're totally fine with it. Arsenal, with a draw, would be looking at this game very happily. So, for a Liverpool fan perspective, you have to win this at home against a big rival. For Arsenal and City, totally fine, because Arsenal will probably win against Brentford anyways, which I think they will. And City will probably just be Arsenal anyways, so it doesn't really matter. And in that regard, personally, I think that home crowd, Anfield, the fans, the players will want to do it for Jurgen Klopp. And this occasion is going to be for Jurgen Klopp. And because of that, I'm going to back Liverpool here with a 3-2 win. It's not going to be a 3-1, a 3-0, a 2-1, a 2-0, that kind of result. It's going to be fine margins, if not a draw, or if not, one team will just win by a goal or two. I don't think someone's going to win 3-1. I do believe that it's going to be one goal margin, which is why I've said 3-2 Liverpool. And I know this game is kind of irrelevant these days, but Chelsea against Newcastle, I don't think Chelsea have much to fight for. Newcastle are 4 points off Manchester United. So, there will be a lot for Newcastle to fight for. Obviously, in this season, there was a period of time Newcastle were playing well. And it was the time where they beat Manchester United. They beat Chelsea. Remember, those days, around November. Of course, after they lost to Bournemouth, they went to beat Chelsea. They drew away at PSG, and then they beat Manchester United 3 games in a row. 2 big wins, right? But they have dropped off. And Chelsea, when was the last time they played? Was it against Leeds United the last time they played? It wasn't. Obviously, there was the Premier League game. How can I forget? But I just see this game written, a draw written out of it. And I've already said 1-1 and 2-2 twice, 1 each. But I'm gonna say a 1-1 draw. I can just say it. Newcastle United don't score many goals, neither do Chelsea, and it's gonna be interesting here. If anything, could Newcastle go away and win by a goal again? Could it be a 2-1 Newcastle win? It could. It could be a 2-1 Chelsea win. It could. So, who knows? But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the bell if you did. Subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.